join the club. It's the Club World Cup on Footy Prime.
No, we're cutting you off, Craig.
Everybody, join the club. It's the Club World Cup on Footy Prime.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
There you go. Two.
I
We're
love
only
the
doing two of those.
little Latin flavor that he's added to our Club World
Little
Cup
jingle.
song.
Well, the Latins have come out in droves to support this tournament.
Are we saying the Latins? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know. I don't know what people consider Latin, but I remember there is a real definition of it, and I think the South Americans and the Europeans who are Latin have really supported this tournament on DAZN very, very well.
That's right. I heard you can watch it for free on DAZN. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yes. Latin or otherwise, people are flocking to DAZN. With a simple sign up, you can watch all of the Club World Cup. And here on Footy Prime, we'll accompany you with all of the insight that you need to catch up on results or to get to the next day's action. So we're at that point where we've got a last day of action in match day 3 in order to predict or to see who's progressing to that round of 16. But yesterday we saw Dios's worldie for Monterrey, where they exploded for 4 goals against Urawa Red Diamonds. So they book a spot in the knockout rounds. We'll get to those highlights.
Oh, we got them right now.
Yeah. Well, this is the one that I'm talking about. So this is around the half-hour mark, and this will be in with the shout, I think, for the Pushkas Award. Look at that strike.
Yeah, ridiculous. And so from how far out do you think that was? Did you see the measurement?
36 yards.
36 yards.
And I'd also like to see, how they can measure the power of the strike. I mean, that would be incredible to see. But that will be in the end of year nominations for the goal of the year, just across world football. But yeah, an emphatic victory, I think, for Monterrey. And this is the one that our friend Carl Lang, friend of the show, Canadian Soccer Hall of Famer, was covering.
Yep.
Forrest, did you catch any of this match?
I didn't see any of this match, no. But I was just looking at that second goal. I did see the highlight of the first goal, but second one, it's like you just got beat from 36 yards and you don't even bother closing somebody down from 25 yards. It's like...
Well, the other reason Monterrey is high on our agenda and our priority to cover is because Amy Walsh has a crush.
I do. I'm really happy to see more of Sergio Ramos.
That's right.
Into the knockouts, because he knocks me out every time, Wonger.
Well, I was going to say, you guys are almost the same age, right?
I'm pretty sure I'm older than him.
Wow, Mrs. Robinson, you led me right to it. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Also married, 3 kids, but
He likes older women.
You can close some deals, Dubs. You can still close deals.
The other result from yesterday, so this is Club World Cup Day 12 action, if I'm not mistaken, was Inter Milan got a little bit spicy towards the end. Denzel Dumfries wanted to take, I think there was a red card taken down. I think it was Lautaro Martinez, if I'm not mistaken. Denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity, but Inter proved to be too much on the day, so they scored twice in the last 18 minutes, and they will progress to the knockout stage as Group E winners and send the Argentines home. But yeah, I mean, I think the 19-year-old, so I mentioned Lautaro Martinez, he had a couple of opportunities really early on and a couple of big saves, but it's the youngster, Esposito, who got them on the board, and then Bastoni that we just saw there doubled their lead. So that takes a team that's, I think, the Champions League and the emphatic nature of PSG's win is sort of left scars, but there you see them getting into it here, Forrest.
Well, yeah, the last 20 minutes, the best way to describe it, it went all El Salvador.
Yes,
if you're keeping up with our Gold Cup comparisons.
Yeah, Argentina, generally speaking, not good losers, the Argentinians.
No, and they haven't had as much success as their Brazilian counterparts in this competition.
Yeah.
Where
true.
I think they are 4-for-4 onto knockouts, the Brazilian representation, right? So speaking of that Latin flair, right, we'll see that. But a couple of other results on the day. We saw Dortmund beat South Korean side Ulsan.
Yeah.
Well, where Craig Forrest was that one? Yeah, Craig Forrest. I need you to talk about Joe. Hyun Woo Jo, the goalkeeper for Ulsan. So Dortmund only wins by 1, but I mean, just the field was tilted towards his goal, and he had 10 incredible saves, and I think 6 that were Grady opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. When they talk about big chances, I think Dortmund had 6 chances like this, and he made 5 unbelievable saves.
I always wonder too, we were just talking about on the other pod about Nathan Saliba getting some stage time at the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this goaltender, who may not be on anyone's radar, plays this match against one of Europe's bigs in Dortmund, correct? And all of a sudden you're like, oh, who is this cat? Yeah, who is this cat who's coming up, saving his team from, to be honest, it could have been easily 4-0, 6-0, and he made every one of these except one. So congratulations on an individual great effort. But it's you lost 1-0, you're out, you're going home. So.
And in that group, it's Fluminense. So that's the other result on the day, where they drew 0-0 to maybe my favorite name in the competition, Mamelodi Sundowns. So Fluminense are also through, but I think that's what you want. Like, if you're going to go home anyway, is you want these moments of individual brilliance, not only for the viewer that's taking it all in, but for the individual to see somebody make good account of themselves, or give good account of themselves on this massive, massive stage.
I was thinking about Lautaro Martinez. He is playing for Inter. He went with, I didn't know this, but does he always go with just his first name? Is he like a Madonna and a Cher?
Yeah, but again, like, to bring up, for the Latins, like whether you're European and you're Spanish or you're South American, you usually have your first name
right
on your jersey.
Okay. And he would have been playing. He's from Argentina. He would have been playing River Plate. That must have meant. I mean, I didn't even think about that until after, and he missed. He had an opportunity to score and missed just a little bit. It was under the arm, like he had beaten the goalie, but it rolled right of the right. He's been playing very well. He's been leading this team, but I wonder what it's like playing like probably an old rival or the team you wanted to play for. Interesting.
Well, this is it with the football in other countries, unlike what we saw in Canada with the NHL, where a lot of people will cheer for the Canadian team. It doesn't happen in football. It just doesn't.
It's amazing.
Those other clubs want them to lose right away. If Manchester United is playing, half of Manchester, they're City fans, want them to lose. And we'll celebrate the fact that they lose. But not like they're going, oh, yeah, it was good for Manchester. No, fuck that.
But there is a tiny wrinkle to that, and Cara alluded to it yesterday. So Cara Lang was on our Club World Cup podcast yesterday previewing the Monterrey match versus Urawa Red Diamonds. So she was at the stadium, and she was talking about that occasion where the single Boca Juniors supporter wore his jersey to a match, but it was amongst a sea of, I forget which supporters. And so Cara was saying that representing their heritage, their Argentinian heritage, was important in that moment, but just done the wrong way.
There you go. It's a very good example of it. Yeah. Oh, I'm here to support. No, get that.
No. Don't do that. That's not good for anyone.
You're going to get hurt.
Security. Yeah. You're going to get your face pounded. Don't do that.
I wonder if it was a case of that where it's like, nobody's going to give me a hard time. It's, same country and supporting the league. And
he was also in, if I remember the clip well, he was in the supporter space. So he walked in, and I think it was like, oh, I just bought these tickets,
Yeah, right.
And I don't know if he knew what he was getting into. He may have, and he wanted to take the piss. but you are, if you're taking the piss, you are setting yourself up for a punch in the nose. Just saying.
Exactly. But he might not have known. He might. Yeah.
He might have gone, hey, I got these great tickets, honey. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's what's been on display in this Club World Cup is an exposure maybe for the North American fan and the way that we kind of, our allegiance to one way, or like the gatekeeping sometimes and the bandwagon jumping that might be permissible in our sporting realm, but isn't in others, and the clash of all those.
So interesting.
Urawa Red Diamonds go home, but like that sporting culture, that kind of celebration, the atmosphere that they created, right? Their love and their loyalty for their team. I think Monterrey fans made the Rose Bowl feel like their home stadium. But I mean, I think you have to tip your hat and clap up the Urawa Red Diamond fans, because they really represented their club and their culture very, very well. Yeah. But that's been a cool thing for me to see. I think in this tournament is not only an exposure to a lot of teams I didn't know about, players I didn't know about, but the fan culture and the way that they travel and the way that they support their team has been really fun.
Yeah, it has been fun. A little bit different too, the way they celebrate and the way they get their fans going. But the support so far away from their home clubs has been brilliant for the most part. And
I was going to say the Rose Bowl, as you were talking about in Pasadena, Dubs, I think it's 60 to 80,000 is the capacity, and they 80 plus 40. 89. So it was about 41,000 fans, and I think they were all from Monterrey. So
see, I read that it didn't have a large attendance, that only 14,000 and change were there.
No, I just read 40,611 was the announced attendance at the Rose Bowl Stadium for the Monterrey Inter Milan match.
Was that a double
header?
But
it was Monterrey Urawa Red Diamonds. So maybe
shizzle.
So, but what's interesting about, just...
And that's why I don't know anything about football.
Just a quick fact check on our Steve Chang on this Club World Cup pod.
It's hard to keep up, man.
Yes.
Thank you.
For sure. But, I mean, there's been a lot of talk...
You give me grace.
A lot of talk about exorbitant prices, maybe of tickets, but that it came down because interest that it was generating wasn't as high. It was $19 for a ticket at the Rose Bowl.
I'd pay that.
Which seemed, too little almost, given the spectacle. But they will be facing Dortmund in Atlanta on July 1st. So where Monterrey will hope that they have that home atmosphere again.
That's you know what? These quarterfinals are going to be exceptional, I have a feeling. And I'm very excited about the kind of the knockout stage, because I think the cream has risen to the top of the barley. Mixed metaphors.
Hey, you know what? Did your dyslexia, was it not only consulting the wrong match, or did you flip the 1 and the 4 from 14,000 to 41,000?
It may have been.
But here's the
and that's some dyslexia shaming by Dubs. That's just so everyone knows.
No, my sister Sarah has dyslexia. No. Not throwing any shade your way or shame, but this is our round of 16. So lots of exciting matches on the docket, and obviously 2 more teams will qualify from today's action, which we've got Juve Man City, Al Hilal Pachuca, Dad versus Al Ain, and RB Salzburg versus Real Madrid.
The Juve game will be interesting because both of them are through. So depending on the crossover and what they're looking for, not going to be a lot of desire to win that game other than
right, lining yourself up for the quarters.
Right.
That never happens, right? It's always the strongest, most optimal performance and effort in these matches, right?
Just like on this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are you right now? Oh, I'm walking.
Oh dear. Okay, I think we're out of time. That's it for our Club World Cup pod, where you can watch it by a simple sign up on DAZN, and Footy Prime will be with you right until the final. So as we go into these knockout rounds and the end of match day 3, tune in to hear our coverage and highlights, and
Everybody join the
this
club.
great
It's the Club
theme.
World Cup on Footy Prime.
First, let's see your castanets.
Everybody join the club.
This is how-
It's
this is
the
how
Club
we dance
World
at
Cup
the
on Footy Prime.
That's why you get all the ladies.
It's true.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
true. That's how we
And
do.
pass two, man. Clean up.
All right, everybody, that's the Club World Cup pod for another day. So like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, on socials, and every platform where you can catch a podcast. So cheers for watching and listening. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Boop.